One of the things that's been stressed throughout our topics on Sage Accpac Intelligence is that when we say the word reports for Sage Accpac Intelligence, what we mean is Excel files or Excel workbooks. All of your reports are output into Microsoft Excel format. And what that means is you've got the full power of Microsoft Excel to edit your numbers, to analyze reports, and to analyze numbers that are placed on reports. It's a great tool. It's a tool that most people are already familiar with in terms of their reports and analysis. And again, once all of the information is out into an Excel file, you can edit as necessary or you can analyze as necessary. Some of our reports give you some easier customization out of the box. So even if you're not that familiar with Microsoft Excel, you've got some functions that you can do specifically for reports that are driven with pivot tables. It gives you the ability to do some very easy customizations by adding in columns and obviously by filtering and using the features of pivot tables. Let's take a look at that now, again in the Report Manager. I'm going to select the sales report, the sales master report, and I'm going to run this. I need a start date and an end date. So I'll put in June 1st, 2010 to June 30th, 2010. Now this happens to be one of the reports that is generated in a pivot table format. And for those of you that aren't familiar with pivot tables in Microsoft Excel, pivot tables come with filters up on the top here. So I can select, for example, I want customers in a particular customer group to appear. I perhaps only want customers that use a particular salesperson to appear. And I perhaps only want a particular period. And you can see I only have an individual period here. But once I put in my filters, the necessary information appears down on the bottom. One of the other things that you can do to the pivot tables that are included with Sage Accpac Intelligence, or the pivot table reports, is once you select anywhere in the pivot table, once you click anywhere in the pivot table field list appears. And these are fields that you can add in on the right-hand side of your report. So, for example, if I wanted to know something like a document number so that I could trace back an invoice in the system, I could select document number. And now I can see specific invoices. In fact, I can actually look at my order numbers as well. I have the ability to add and remove whatever fields of information I want based on what is included in the pivot table report. Once I'm ready to view my report again, I simply close that pivot table field list, and I've got my pivot table with my new columns, and I can customize the column to suit my needs. I can put in the appropriate highlight if necessary and continue working. The thing to remember if I'm doing this to my report, what I need to do is exactly what we discussed in the previous topic. I would need to copy this report, run it, add in the columns that I need, and then I would right-click and create and link the template. And you can see this is the reason why we need to copy. I can't do this right now. My report options are locked. This happens to be the shipped report. And to save anybody editing the shipped reports, we lock this report down. So I would just as easily right-click, copy the report, run the copied report, add in the columns of information that I need, and then come back and use that file as my template for this report. But those are some of the things that you can do specifically with reports that are designed as pivot tables in Microsoft Excel. There's the Sales Master report, there's the Purchase Master report, there's the Inventory Master report, and those three reports are the key reports that are designed in pivot table format in Microsoft Excel. And that's it for editing the pivot